Mr. Della Ripper only likes to organize his stamps. Nothing else. Oh, if only he would dust those shelves of his.
Well, not specifically asked, but...
Oh, go on, dear. You know I'm thrilled to help if I can.
Well, she did mention needing some help with something for the clinic.
Ah, I see. Certainly.
And Sophie's starting her
That
donation drive
miscreant
today.
from Crater scratched my chassis on the way in. How
Yes,
rude!
I hadn't forgotten.
Oh, and Esme's got something going on in the kitchen she could use a hand with.
Well, I shall certainly see what I can do about that. I'm sure I can arrange some assistance in these matters.
Oh, how are we going to accommodate so many guests? They aren't even paying. The White Spring is in shambles! A mess! How can I clean that which continues to dirty itself? Oh, these responders have gone too far! I am but a humble servant of the White Spring Resort, dedicated to greeting each guest with pleasantries and candor. Or I was, back when our guests had class and decorum. It's some sort of relief effort for all of the refugees in and around Appalachia. If only there was a relief effort for my stress. That would be the enigmatic Orlando. They oversee the White Spring and are allowing the responders to stay here, as well as their constituents. The better question is, what is right? Everything has run amok. Chaos. Chaos! The responders have taken over the White Spring. Imagine all of the dirty footprints on the carpet. Dust all over the tables. The horror. I do apologize for the mess. Please enjoy your stay. Mr. Della Ripper only likes to organize his stamps. Nothing else. Oh, if only he would dust those shelves of his. I got a veiled threat from Orlando the other day telling me they'd reprogram me if I'm not more positive.
I could really use a drink, but Rucker wants us sober on the job.
I wish they'd tell us what all of those construction workers are.
Well, hello, darling. A pleasure to meet another guest of our fine establishment. I am Orlando, your host and management liaison. If you'll pardon me for just one moment, that will be all. Please give my regards to Ms. Rucker. If you are here for leisure, I regret to inform you that our regular resort activities are temporarily unavailable. However, if you are here for the refuge and the fine work of the lovely responders, I am delighted to welcome you on their behalf. Yes, I believe the originals had been. Quite a tragic tale. Such a noble endeavor. Fortunately, their ideals and organization have been revived, and this refuge is their new home. If I may be totally honest with you, dear, I have heard others use the responder's name as well, to be fair. But I think Appalachia could always use more people with such altruistic goals, so that's all right. I'm sure you agree. Are you really, dear? How marvelous! In that case, I'm sure you can't wait to get involved here. Not as such, dear. They have my wholehearted support, and that of the White Spring management, but no. I am the management liaison for the White Spring, as I said, here to provide assistance to the responders' refuge efforts. My primary duties, otherwise, are to the caretaking and oversight of the White Spring itself. Ah, perhaps you have not heard. The White Spring is now home to the Refuge, a place of safety and care for all in need. The Refuge is being run by the responders, individuals committed to the well-being of their fellows. They founded the Refuge in response to new waves of refugees coming to Appalachia, people in great need of help. Food, medical care, clothing, a place to sleep. All of these are available for those who need them. Anyone in need of help, yes. You appear more well off than our usual guests, though, if I may say so. Less bedraggled than those poor souls. Armed. The Refuge exists primarily to serve those who cannot help themselves. The starving, the sick, the homeless. There is a clinic, a kitchen, beds, recreational facilities, all manner of care to be found here. I'm so pleased to be able to assist in my own small way, of course. Of course, dear. The owners of the White Spring itself. The resort, hotel, golf course, all of it. Very much still alive, I assure you, though regrettably unable to oversee affairs in current circumstances. As such, now that we have new guests, they have sent me in their stead to take care of things as needed. I couldn't be more pleased to do so. A delicious opportunity to be of help and meet fascinating people such as yourself. Darling, I am entirely at your disposal. As I've said, I am the management liaison for the White Spring. I oversee the facility itself and its robotic staff. In addition, on behalf of the management, I arrange for the provision of certain material aid to the responders. They still have substantial resources and generously offer to share them to support their noble efforts. No, not by any prior arrangement. Perhaps you visited us before. I must apologize for the state you found it in, if so. Regular operation of the facilities had been stopped, of course, due to a lack of guests. Only the robotic staff remained. The responders, believing it abandoned, took up residence, a completely understandable occurrence, of course. With new and worthy occupants, the management felt it wholly appropriate that it find a new purpose, and sent me. Until such time as the world needs leisure resorts again, the White Spring is happy to support the Refuge. Darling, you must understand, a place like the White Spring had, indeed still has, very wealthy people behind it. As was always the case, the truly wealthy had advantages the common people, such as you and I, lack. As for the White Spring itself, the staff of top-of-the-line robotic servants, security, and maintenance allowed it to weather the worst. Me? Have I beguiled you already, dear? I appreciate the flattery, of course. You must allow me to retain some mystery for now, though. I wouldn't want you to lose interest. Perhaps we can talk more some other time. We both have more important matters at the moment, I'm sure. Of course, dear. What can I do for you? What a wonderful thing for you to ask, darling. I knew there was something special about you from the moment I saw you. As it happens, the responders are looking for volunteers to assist them in a particular outreach effort. those industrious wonders, have repaired a vertibird to full working order and are using it to make contact with more distant settlements. They've made allies with people in Pittsburgh. The locals call it the Pitt now, who seem to be in dire need of outside assistance. If you don't mind me saying so, you look like you can handle yourself. You might be just who they're looking for. Judging by what I've heard, it's an accurate one, sadly. Pittsburgh was bombed quite severely during the war. The poor individuals still living there have renamed it to better reflect its dreadful circumstances. They call themselves the Union. Something of a resistance movement, I understand, against more aggressive forces. One of their representatives is currently staying with us, a Mr. Skippy Rorich. Delightful man. Indeed, isn't that marvelous? They salvaged it and painstakingly repaired it. It's fully functional now. I was very pleased to be able to contribute to this effort in my own small way. If you wish to see it, it resides on the roof of the refuge between flights, along with its charming pilot, Ms. Lennox. Well, they'll be better able to explain the details, but I believe they're looking for fighters, actually. Their contacts in the pit are in something of a desperate situation, it seems, against a dangerous enemy. I hate the thought of you putting yourself in such danger, but it does appear to be for a good cause. Oh, you're terribly brave, aren't you, dear? Imagine if we all had such courage. Now, darling, before anybody bundles you off, the first thing you should do is introduce yourself to some of the responders. I just so happen to know a few in need of more local assistance, and helping them will earn you the other thing you'll need. That other thing, of course, being the ultrasight battery cells, which fuel the vertibird. Ultracells, if you prefer.
I can't wait.
Why, from me, of course. Rather, from the management via me, that is. When management heard the responders were restoring the vertibird, they wished to help. They provided the ultracells, and I suggested them to the responders as an alternative means of fueling the vertibird. Per management instructions, I distribute a quantity to certain individuals regularly. Management feels this encourages collective decision-making rather than stockpiling. I'm sure they'd be willing to part with them in exchange for your aid. My dear, you must understand, much as I would like to, my responsibilities do not permit me to do so. I am but a humble employee of the management, and I distribute their resources as instructed to the letter. I hope you will not begrudge me my loyalty. I find myself quite fond of you already.
Robot butlers? Is this a refuge or a palace?
In an ideal world, darling, I'm sure they would. Sadly, this is not that world, and any reticence on their part is understandable. I don't want to speak for the responders, but I believe they may also see this as more for their Union friends than for themselves. Your assistance with their more immediate concerns will ensure everyone benefits. Isn't that a good outcome? Our lovely Ms. Rucker is the closest thing to a leader the refuge has, though I believe she's less than comfortable with the title. You can find her in their headquarters, beyond the dining area. The darling chef, Miss Rousseau, needs some assistance in the kitchen, I hear. And Ms. Wagner, over in the common area, is looking for donations. I'm sure your generosity will be well rewarded. Wonderful, my dear. I'm certain you will be a tremendous help to them and the refuge. When you are finished with each of them, I recommend you speak with Mr. Skippy Rorich, the Pitt Union representative. I imagine he'll want to discuss the situation in the pit with you before you embark.
I can't wait until dinner.
Do feel free to visit me at your leisure if you wish to chat. I have an office in the management wing. You can't miss it.
Considering all the places I could have ended up, I'm extremely lucky I'm here. I've never felt safer.
I wish they'd tell us what all of those construction workers are up to. Look at what a mess they're making.
I was out scavenging for food earlier. Only got attacked
You think I
by
have what it
Scorch
takes to be a
once.
responder? I can't remember the last time I ran my hand through clear water.
Orlando is very charming, but to be honest with you, I'm not really sure why they're helping us. If you hang around those raiders, I want nothing to do with you.
Always make sure to boil your water before you drink it.
This wanton robot tried to give me a haircut before running off. It's a shame.
Just a
Can't get to the
little
back by
longer,
myself.
Ellison. Valdez will see everything you have to offer. You'll see.
The work I do is extremely rewarding, but boy, is it tiring.
I should check if those Blue Ridge folks carry letters, too. Well, hello there, stranger. Pleased to meet you. I'm Sophie Wagner. Look around. The Refuge. Quite a place, isn't it? I mean, sure, fancy pants golf club resort, that's nice, but I'm talking about the Refuge. A haven for the lost, the dispossessed, the hungry, and unfortunate. A monument to our ability to have compassion for each other. Isn't it grand? Isn't it worth preserving, building, growing?
I love Esme's cooking. It's been so long since I've had food with
Sort
actual
of.
flavor.
Well, I haven't seen you around before, so, glad to have you. But I wasn't trying to recruit you anyway. I'm actually more in the material support end of things. Scouting for volunteers isn't really my department.
These robots sure make my job easier.
Yes, exactly! You understand, I can tell. A future filled with people supporting each other, regardless of background or history. It's always good to meet someone who can see the big picture. Now, how'd you like to be a part of it?
You're always in my thoughts.
Now that's what I'm talking about. People supporting each other. You got the right spirit. Rucker's put me in charge of running a bit of a donation drive. Have you met Rucker? She's amazing, you should. Anyway, it might surprise you to know an operation like this is always churning through supplies. We work hard to keep things in stock, and that funny Orlando character does their best to help out as well, but we still have shortfalls. So here I am, asking generous folks such as yourself to help us fill in those gaps and keep the refuge running. Let me check my notes. You would not believe how fast we've been going through our stash of steel scrap. It's been
There's no
nuts.
problem too big
50
to solve.
units if you have it would go a long way. Bunch of stuff you could scrap for it. Tools, fuel cans, utensils. Scavengers find that kind of thing all the time. Yeah. The warm glow of providing aid to your fellow person. The joy of supporting a noble and worthwhile cause. Isn't that great? Okay, if that's not enough for you, Rucker's given the okay to dole out some of the ultrasight battery cells we've got to spare. We use them to power the vertibird on the roof. They use it to fly aid missions to places outside Appalachia. I got a feeling you might be helping out there. So I bet you'll find a use for these. That's okay. Who just carries that around in their pockets or whatever, right? I'll be here all day, though. If you want to come back, bring it by later.
Considering all of the
If you can, of course. You know where to find me. It'd really make my day if you did.
I've never felt safer.
We could really use a drink, but Rutger wants us sober on the job.
Damn, that blood bug sting was nasty. Wonder what it was like pre-war when they were tiny.
I think I heard a Protectron bark the other day. Am I going crazy?
This place could
If
stand
you see
to have
anyone
some
struggling
cats.
out in Appalachia, be sure to tell them about the White Spring.
Allison's a good kid. But that Brotherhood gig of his isn't going to make him any money.
Sometimes I worry I'm not doing enough or that I'm not good.
Here's an easy riddle
Just
for
try
you.
to remember
I
that I
am
managed
all
to get
around
here in
you,
the first place.
but you cannot.
There I
Ah, a customer. Here to peruse or buy. Either way, prepare your eyes for a feast of the senses, huh? A spectacle like no other. Oh, I got a bit carried away, didn't I? Forgot to properly introduce myself. Giuseppe della Ripa, at your service. Tradesman and curio collector. Welcome to Giuseppe's Curios. Buy, sell, trade, and count. I'm a collector of oddities and eccentricities, and I sell those eccentricities for the right price. Perhaps I might have something to your liking. Oh, I've called many places home. Clarksburg, New York, now Appalachia again. But none ring truer in my heart than the homeland. Italia! Ah, I believe in your language it is simply Italy. I was born there. I remember very little of it. There's still a connection. I think there's something that binds you to where your ancestors are from. It may not make sense if you've been raised in a place your family has always had roots in. Ah, don't mind me. I'm just rambling at this point. What makes it worse is knowing I can never go back. That, and not knowing what Italy's fate was after the bombs. Who knows what it looks like now? You walk past and see a sparkle at the edge of your vision. Maybe it's a dusty mirror or a long-forgotten urn. A decades-old music box. That's a curio. Fame and fortune. Or maybe just fortune. Perhaps neither. It's easier to earn money than to search for what you're really looking for. Buy, sell, trade, and count. I'm a collector of oddities and eccentricities, and I sell those eccentricities for the right price. Perhaps I might have something to your liking. Buy, sell, trade. Perhaps I have books upon books of riddles. They keep a man entertained. Besides, it's a good conversation starter. You have only ever seen me in the distance, never up close. Look in any direction, and I will be there. What am I? Nice try, but that's incorrect. Take a night to think it over. You're very jumpy, aren't you? Perhaps it's nerves.
It's been sunny all week. I love it here.
Have you ever read a book so much its pages faded? I think I'll go crazy when I lose the answers to my riddle book. Do you read much? It's about all that keeps me sane these days.
Nothing cleans the gears like an ice-cold Nuka-Cola.
Discount? Not in this damn bottle cap economy.
Hope all the folks at the commune are doing well.
There's a lot of supplies here that look ripe for the picking.
It's been sunny all week. I love it here.
Bonjour! My name is Esme Rousseau, but most people around here know me as Chef Esme. We had some representatives from Foundation and Crater come here seeking assistance with the recent influx of refugees. I thought that we could help them out by providing some food for their people. I've started a pot of venison and tato stew, one of my newest creations. Would you be able to help me finish it? How wonderful! I can't wait to whip up something delicious for everyone! The stew requires potatoes, venison, salt, black pepper, and carrots. The ingredients can be found in our storage area. Your job is to grab the ingredients and put them in before the stew burns. Super! Let's have you start by stirring the stew, which will help keep it from burning. Remember to continuously stir during the cooking process. Fantastique! Let's get the first of the ingredients and prepare them. You're looking for carrots, potatoes, and the pièce de résistance, the venison.
Please have a seat. Someone will be with you shortly.
Potatoes here taste amazing. So fresh, and only a few rats. We could always use an extra hand around here.
A dash of this, a sprinkle of that. Perfection.
I heard a bunch of nerds arguing over comic book heroes yesterday. Aren't there more important things to worry about?
If you ever find yourself in a bind, you can always call on us.
I heard about what happened in Morgantown. I know it was way back, but I'm glad they chose to send me somewhere safe.
Good evening. Here for dinner. Please feel free to seat yourself.
This bloodleaf aioli really elevates the mirelurk meat.
Please seat yourself. A waiter will be with you shortly.
I could really use a drink, but Rucker wants us sober on the job.
hope we get some Deathclaw meat soon. Its tenderness is magnifique.
My friends didn't want to join up with me. Said the responders sounded like too much work. Wonder what they're doing now.
I wouldn't want to be Rucker. I never thought a single person could be spread so thin.
Considering all the places I could have ended up, I'm extremely lucky I'm here. I've never felt safer.
Please, have a seat. Someone will be with you shortly.
No mouth in Appalachia will go hungry with Chef Esme around! Oh no, the stew has burned. Do not be discouraged though. Without failure, there is no improvement. Here is your stew. Something is better than nothing, yes? Hopefully, either the settler or raider representative will find some use for this. I last saw them in the bar area.
Robot
If you're
butlers?
caught out and about with no
Is this
place
a
to
refuge
go,
or a palace?
responders have an outpost in front. These robots sure make my job easier. Did Giuseppe overcharge me for that hairbrush? No, 50 caps.
I can't wait until dinner.
Are you at the refuge? We've got people going hungry, and too many mouths to feed at Foundation. Burned stew? Is this all that the refuge can supply us with? Disappointing.
What? Who I am doesn't matter. I'm just here to keep an eye on things for Meg. Nothing but a problem. All it's doing is encouraging new people to come to Appalachia. Sickly people. If they're too weak to make it on their own, then maybe they shouldn't be the ones to survive. Sure, whatever.
Good evening, sir.
No reservations required. Help yourself to any.
Yeah, Responder's gonna need more jumpsuits at this rate.
The work I do is extremely rewarding, but boy, is it tiring.
Well, seems like timing is one of your strong suits. Look, I can stitch up a gash with the best of them. But Appalachia, well, she can do a lot worse than cut us open. Got a lot of folks here with sickness we don't understand, and injuries we don't know how to treat. What we need more than anything is know-how. So I propose we trade. What I got that I don't need, for what you need that you don't got. I've heard you're looking ahead into the pit, and the only safe way out of Appalachia is that metal bird Lennox has perched up on the roof. And what keeps her in the air are those ultrasite cells Orlando keeps locked up. So, that's the deal. You bring back medical information that'll help me figure out how to help these folks, and I'll get you all the juice you need.
I'm extremely lucky I'm here. I've never felt safer.
Hope you don't mind heading into the mire. So, how about it? Well, Braxton's is a weird little place, the way I hear it. Some kind of medical supply company. We're hoping to find something there that can help us repair the equipment we already have. Maybe even improve on it. Can the responders count on you? Nice. Well, let's get to it then.
Got a bird.
Anything you're able to find, go ahead and bring it back to our lead medic. I'll let her know to look for you. Good luck out there.
This wanton robot tried to give me a haircut before running off. It's a shame. I can't get at the back by myself.
My friends didn't want to join up with me. They said the responders sounded like too much work. Wonder what they're doing now.
It's been sunny all week. I love it here.
Ooh, that Orlando can talk the bark off a tree.
There's no problem too big to solve.
I could really use a drink. But Rucker wants us sober on the job. I think we can make this place home for a lot of people.